Hi, my name is Titus AB and welcome to my channel. The video you're about to watch right now is a snippet of a session that we did on preparing yourself for global opportunities, during which we invited some top-level individuals and leaders in their different fields to share their knowledge and experience with different young people in a bid to prepare them for a field of global opportunities. But before you get into the video, I want to invite you to do a few things for me. The first thing to do will be to subscribe to our channel by scrolling down and clicking on the red button. Turn on the post notification bell so that each time we upload a video you're going to be informed as soon as it is out. Next thing to do is hit the like button on this video in order to prepare this video to different people so that they can watch and also get enriched by the information. And the next thing to do will be to share the video to at least 5 persons within your network that you think that this video is going to be of particular help to them. Go ahead and share the video to them. I'm also inviting you for a 1-month training on preparing yourself for global opportunities, in which we are going to build on the 4 tenets of modern competence which are going to be unveiled in this training. Also, as part of the training, we are going to invite some key leaders and stakeholders in their different companies, in their different industries, ranging from education to technology all the way to social engagement and civic participation, to come on board and share their experience with the cohort of participants of this particular training. If you're interested in this training, which I think you should be, go ahead and check in the description box below. There's some information there. You reach out to the contacts, you make your intents known. I'm going to get back to you and integrate you into this training. Next thing I would like you to do is, if you want to connect with me on any level, maybe to work on a project with me, maybe to share some information with me, or to have a one-on-one discussion to talk about something very, very important, or receive some personalized mentorship, go ahead and check out my information in the comments in the description section as well, and I'll be waiting and ready to listen from you. Enjoy the video.
Hi everyone, welcome to Preparing Yourself for Global Opportunities. My name is Asman Saidu and my pronouns are she and her. I am the Publicity Secretary at Exponential and I will be the co-host for today. So today we will be having the greatest opportunity to meet and learn from great youthful minds and how can I call them, opportunity hackers, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, so we would be really honored to have people from around the continent be our guest speakers and people from around the continent be our listeners as well. So we will be discussing various topics such as networking, such as youth leadership, such as the formal benefits, the 4 main benefits of modern competence, and as well as African peace. So guys, do not hesitate to share the event link to your friends and family members, as well as share it on our own social media handles. And as well, please be free to put your name in the chat box. Ask people's names, be acquainted with each other, put your name, your country, and of course your country of origin, and also be free to ask any questions. I and Brandy here will do our best to answer each and every question you guys put down.
All right, thank you very much, Saifu. You have a very rich profile. I believe I'm not only going to benefit from the guest speakers, but you as well have to tell me. So I'm going to introduce myself. I am Julie Brandy. It's written there. I am a BA graduate in linguistics and African languages, and I'm also an MC. I'm into entrepreneurship, and the profile goes on and on and on. But today I am your host, and I'm having a very beautiful co-host. You see her just concentrating because she's gathering some facts to just pour in, and just drop some comments.
I think we lost her. So fine. However, we're going to continue with our first guest speaker. Oh, she's back.
Yeah,
What happened?
I had some network issues. Sorry.
Oh, I see. So you could go on. Go on, please. The network stopped you while you were speaking, so I think you should go on and tell us who the beautiful Brandy is.
I'll have to leave again.
She left again. Okay, we're just going to go ahead while waiting for Brandy to come back. We're going to go ahead with our first speaker, Abubakar Bari, who is Abubakar Bari is a young Sierra Leone currently studying the Bachelor's Arts in Global Challenges of at the African Leadership Academy University. He is an environmental enthusiast who is looking forward to reducing the negative human impact on the environment. On the environment, I think we're going to, guys, we're really sorry. We're having technical issues. Really sorry, guys. Please go on in the chat box and give us your name, your country of origin, and where you are located right now. Ask every question you want to ask, and we would do our best to answer the questions. Yeah, and the next step is introducing our very special guest speaker, Mr. Ateki Seta. Mr. Ateki Seta Caxton, who is the Executive Director of the Network for Solidarity, Empowerment and Transformation for All. He is also as a Dropper Hughes Fellow at Stanford University and the National Endowment for Democracy, and served as the former Human Rights Coordinator of Women in Alternative Action, WAA Cameroon. Having mentored thousands of young people in the civil society space in Cameroon, he stands out as one of the top leaders in his space. His leadership aptitude and experience has seen him travel and speak in international conferences around the world and being the Africa-France Summit. Mr. Caxton, you're welcome, and we're very honored to have you here today. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly.
Yes, thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. I wonder whether you can hear me. I'm just wondering. I want to confirm whether you can actually hear me. Can you hear me?
We can't hear you clearly, so I think you should raise your voice a little.
Okay. So, is it better now?
Yes. Go ahead, please.
Okay. So, good afternoon, everybody, and I'm so glad to be here. And I want to thank Mr. Titus for the invitation. I am called Ateki Caxton. I direct the Network for Solidarity, Empowerment, and Transformation for All. So this afternoon, I was actually, asked to come just share my own perspectives on the importance of youth networking. I would say even youth participation. In the evolution of youth. Today. So I just want to share. I wouldn't really want this to be like a kind of lecture where you spread ideas about a particular concept. It's just to share my own experiences about what this topic really means to me in a personal way. So where do I start? I have really been, I would say, I've really been able to understand. I've really been able to test of the fruits of networking myself as a civil society actor. For many years that I've been in this sector, it has really been through networking that I have had the different kinds of opportunities that that I've been able to explore for many years. I Somebody told me at one point that what you become in the next 5 years is really going to depend on, number one, the books that you read, and number two, the people that you know. And I think that statement has stuck with me. It's a friend who works at the African Union. He told me that the people that you know will definitely determine where you be, where you will be in the next 5 years. Um, and that was a very important lesson. So from that day, I think I really had a new perspective about how I should view the people that I interact with, the people that I meet every day when I have, youth engagement activities, or people that I meet in different international conferences, people that I meet in different settings. So, but I mean, just to kind of go down to the, to the brass tacks, networking basically is the idea of connecting with other people. I know this is really quite different from the whole networking, which I know the IT people who may be online would be perhaps may be oriented to. But networking in the social space is just the idea of meeting people, especially people who share your own specific interests. Of course, what would draw you to a particular network is basically because you have a particular interest, and so you're looking for people who share, for like-minded people who share that kind of interest, per se. So, for me, that is what networking really means in the simplest terms. Now, how do you even get to create these networks? How do you even meet people like this? I think number one, information is key, and having access to information about the people who share the interests that you have is very crucial. So if you are a civil society actor who is working in the domain of, let's say, human rights, let's say youth issues or environment, now, if you want to build networks, the first people that you want to look at are people who are really sharing specifically the work that you do, and who have maybe some experience in the domain that you're working in, and that you want to be able to tap from this experience in order to be able to help your own particular career growth. So it is very, very crucial in the world today. In the world today, basically everything is about networks. I mean, whether it is governance, whether it is getting finally employed in the international space, or even locally, it's usually because people know you, and people know what you can be able to deliver, and that's why somebody would recommend you for a particular position. So number one for me, I think access to information is very, very, very crucial. And then, I mean, maybe even access to the platforms. Sometimes today, I mean, the internet has facilitated a lot of things. Why you have websites like LinkedIn, for example, where people can post their CVs there, post their profiles, post their experience, and somebody who is actually job hunting, or somebody who is actually headhunting as well, may come there and be able to see the opportunities that people are trying to expose themselves to. Because at the end of the day, it's just trying to make yourself eligible for somebody to be able to see your potential, and then probably recruit you if the idea is looking for a job, maybe within a particular space. So you get into that space, you make yourself known. So access to information is one thing. Access to platforms that can help you be seen is another thing. I will tell you, a story about how I think networking really helped me personally. There used to be like, this. So there's the World Youth Movement for Democracy. They used to run activities online, and these activities used to be like frequent. They were done like once every 2 weeks, once every month, and so on. So usually, where I was working, I would take time off from there because sometimes the internet was very bad. So I would take time off there, go to the cyber cafe, and buy time, which would maybe an hour, which would permit me to be able to attend their conferences. So And it's by doing that every time. So when they do that, I would get into it. Although I was not even invited to speak or to be a panel or to make panelist or to make any contribution, I would just be online. So there are people there who take note, who look at the participants and see that this guy has been a regular participant for meetings. Every time he's there, he's from Cameroon. He's talking about it, and then sometimes he will ask very important questions about the topic of the day and so on. For me, that is basically how I started engaging. So I'll get on this platform, ask questions every time. I didn't really, honestly, at that time I didn't know. I didn't have an idea about where I was going to or where that was going to take me, but I was just participating. Suddenly I had, and this platform, the World Movement for Democracy, is based in the US. So there are different. They actually, I mean, like I would say sub organization of the National Endowment for Democracy. So my participation with this particular movement on their online, like it was just participating in conferences, nothing else. I was just participating, getting to share my views, but I didn't know that somebody was taking note of me. I didn't know, right? And then so I wrote. At the same time, I was writing grant proposals to the National Endowment for Democracy. The idea was that I just wanted to see whether I can get a grant. So I wrote a grant and it was rejected. I wrote the second time, it was rejected, right? Because they didn't really know me. But then I was surprised. One day, somebody got to me that they first sent me a friend request on Facebook. I was like, this is a very strange name. Like, why would this person be sending me? Because I see we have no mutual friends. They sent me that friend request. I was like, okay, I accepted. And then the person sent me a message. Hi Ateki, this is from the World Movement for Democracy. We've been taking note of your participation in our different platforms and forums. I'm just wondering whether you will be able to actually be a panelist on the next session. That was the first impression. I never knew that this was about just trying to see my own levels of competence and so on. So I accepted that. Yeah, I'm ready to share my experiences. So and then they organized that, and I was a panelist, and I had to prepare, share the perspectives on youth. It was about youth political participation and its impact on our sector. And I kind of shared the campaigns that I was passionate about, the Vote 18 campaign in Cameroon, because that's something I was doing. Back then we still do that, although it's kind of on another level now. But the Vote 18 is like the campaign where we do we're advocating for the voting age in Cameroon to be lowered. So I shared that. It was kind of a very unique idea for them, and they were so impressed. And then the next thing was that they are inviting me to a youth conference in Senegal. Imagine, that was the first time I was going to go out of Cameroon. Imagine, it was youth and political democratic transition, youth and democratic transition in Africa. So they're saying that we're inviting you to Senegal to join other youths from across Africa to discuss on the topics of youth and democratic transitions in Africa. I was like, they asked me, are you ready to be able to, are you available to be able to go to Senegal and participate? For me, I told them it was just, that was the first opportunity. I was ready since to be able to get to Senegal, to be able to participate with other youths and everything. It was just like that. And then they paid me a flight on Royal Air Maroc. I left from here, went to Casablanca, and then went to Senegal. That was my first time ever on these things. First time. But it was just because I got to a website, was working, contributing. They got to me as a panelist. I accepted I was available, and then then they invited me. Then that didn't end it. Some of the people that I've been writing grant proposals to, right? They were also at that conference in Senegal. Imagine. Then I wrote when I got to them, and then they introduced me as this is Ateki from Cameroon. He's a very active member of the World Movement for Democracy. He's been really sharing very wonderful ideas and strong points. So these guys now were interested. The people who I used to write project proposals to them and they rejected. Now I was like face to face with them now. I told them, like, I've been writing different grant proposals to the National Endowment for Democracy, and I've been rejected because I never really had, the track record, because we are a young organization. Maybe, they never knew me, but this is the work that I do. I now took time off to get flyers. It's very important when you're networking. It's very important to be well armed, right? I got flyers about, what we're doing. I had printed some. I had also like a business card that I printed. I shared the flyers to all of them, shared the business card to all of them, and then they told me that, well, of course, you've tried, but then you should try to apply. Then at least for that point, at that point, the people had seen me, right, see the work that I do, and see the kind of ideas that I share, and so on. And or even during the conference, I was able to, I was not even a panelist. I just asked questions from the floor, and I was able to, join. Like, they wanted to set up a task force to get to work on renewing the African Democracy Forum and so on. I mean, I just willfully joined the task force, came back, developed it. It was just so voluntary. I mean, and then later on, when I applied for a grant proposal, you already have created this community around you. They've known you. They've known the work that you do. They've known that this guy is a kind of, voluntary, you just want to give your best. I mean, for the first time ever, after writing a grant proposal twice and getting rejected, for the first time ever, I wrote a grant proposal, and it was accepted. It was not like the other times if I was telling somebody, if there's a situation where medals were given to you after you've written, you've given a grant proposal, and they tell you, sorry, we're interested in, we thank you for your interest in this opportunity, but sorry, it was very competitive and we had many more qualified candidates, and you're not, if there were medals that were supposed to be given after that kind of mail, I would have had so many medals. Why? Because that was like the standard response that I had for many of the things that I applied for. But after, just networking like that, one of the things that I realized was that it is possible. It's just making yourself known. It is just making yourself known, and people discover who you are and what you have to offer. And once people see that you're authentic, that you're for real, I mean, you would have access to different opportunities. I mean, since then, for me, traveling out of the country was like something very, very, special back then. That was like the first time I was getting out of Cameroon. But imagine, that was 2015. 2015 till now, I've been to more than 20 countries. Imagine, in this world, and in a very short while, I don't even know, it's because for every opportunity that I get, people discover you. People really discover you. And even for later grants that I eventually got, was because I took advantage of the platforms that I had. There was a grant that we had, for example, with Osiwa, which is based in Senegal. I was invited to moderate a panel in another event. Now there was somebody from this organization who decided to attend the Africa that might, because it was a side event. So they saw the way that I moderated the event, and then after that they came to me. So, hello, how are you? I learned you're from Cameroon. So what did you do? I really like your presentation there. So I was like, okay, this is me. I do this. I do that. Okay. You see, we're looking at the challenges that you guys are having right now in the country, and by then I had just written an article about my perspectives on the issue, and I shared the link with this person, and then the next thing is that they invited me for a conference in Senegal, just to talk about the issues, and then eventually those of us who were invited for the conference were asked to look at the different conclusions that we had, the different areas that we had earmarked for solutions to be brought up. So humanitarian challenges, youth participation, and all of these things. So I wrote a grant on youth participation, and that's how we got it, just by talking to somebody, and then them inviting you, and then you making relevant contributions, and then that is it. Today, honestly, I would say where I've been to today, the different kind of places I've been to, even just the different kinds of things I've been able to access, is because of networking. So I'll tell anyone, like everyone who is watching, and at this point, there is a lot of power. I'd never be discouraged. There's a lot of power in building networks, and building networks that really resonate with the work that you're passionate about. Don't just network anyhow. Like, network with people that can help you, because at the end of the day, you should know where you stand. If you're networking with people who you are the best, I mean you're the top, and then the people that network with you are lower than you, and then you realize that you're still even yourself nowhere. It is not a very good network. I say you should always network, from a place where you can actually climb. So network across. I mean, especially when you've climbed. Also, I'm not saying that you shouldn't network with people below you. Network across the board, because people below you have something to learn from you and grow. People above you can be able to pull your hand up to the next level. So it's important that you network across the board, but then also be able to look at where you stand and try as much as possible to take advantage of all the things that are available for your growth and so on. So I wouldn't want to take much of your time, because I also have another conference like right away with like, I mean, there's a professor that we have to talk to at the University of Witwatersrand in South Africa. I mean, I'm continuing the networking process, so allow me to be able to. So you have to allow me to be able to continue networking.
Okay.
But thank you so much for the time. I don't know whether there's one or two questions for me before I leave.
From Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. We've noted so many beautiful things that you've said about network, how much network, how important networking is. But as from the comments below, there is no question apart from people saying how beautiful and good the vibes are. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I wish you all the best with with the rest of the conference. Let me join the other networks, and all the best to you
Thank
guys.
you.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Keep on networking. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Guys, we've seen how much Mr. Ateki tells us that information is key, consistency, participation, and the biggest of all is that rejections are no barriers. No matter how many rejections you get, keep moving.